All right,
Okay.
so we're back. We got some technical
Hello.
difficulties, but that's okay, just because the conversations were so good that, sometimes some things happen. So let's go back to talking with Tanya regarding habit stacking.
Yeah, so I was just talking about some practical tools that you can use to either create new habits or break the ones you don't want to do anymore. So, habit stacking is one of those tools, and it's just attaching a new habit to an existing one. And I had just given an example of a habit stack that I created because I noticed whenever I was doing a load of towels, like putting my dirty towels in the laundry, that the next time I would go to the bathroom, I would wash my hands and my hands would be wet because I forgot to replace the towels. So I decided to create a habit stack around that. So my existing habit was doing the laundry. So every time I would put the dirty towels in the washer, I would immediately then attach this new habit of going around and replacing all of the towels. So that's habit stacking.
Very much, yes.
Um, then next is just creating simple rules for yourself. Like, for example, I don't snack in between meals or I don't eat after 7 p.m. And that just helps reduce decision fatigue by reducing the amount of options available to you. Then you don't have to rely on your willpower as much. Um, and then lastly is designing your environment. You want to make the most healthy or helpful option the easiest one. So if you're trying to drink more water, you can scatter water bottles in convenient locations like your car or your nightstand or the kitchen.
So
And
funny,
when
that's
you're
what I
trying to,
do. Not even thinking
yeah,
about it.
me
I
too. I
do.
have water
Mhm.
bottles everywhere, and my
Yep.
husband makes fun of me, but I'm like, hey, well, I drink a lot of
But
water
it's
and I'm
working. I'm
all
drinking enough water.
yeah, exactly. It does. It works. Yeah, because you always have it available when you need it. It's
Yeah.
convenient. And then when you're trying to do focused work, you remove any distractions. Like the phone is a huge one. Like put it in a completely different room, especially if,
Yes.
you're a mom and you have kids. If your kids are with you, get rid of the phone. Like what do you need it for? You
Yes.
know? Um, yeah, so at the end of the day, the goal is not perfection. It's just becoming the kind of person who shows up consistently. That is the key, consistency. And that's where the real change happens.
And it takes time too, because I know
Yeah.
it's always talked about it takes 21 days to create a habit. And I'm not against that whatsoever. It depends on the habit, the one you're trying to break or the one you're trying to build. Some of them and the person, it may take them 21 days. Other people, it may take shorter, longer. So I think it's one of those things where and you can explain it too. Don't stick to it's like to what we've always been told, like that 10,000 steps a day. You have to do 10,000 steps. I've been hearing
No.
that 7,500 is enough.
It's different for everyone. You're
Yeah.
exactly right. And I've heard, yeah, the jury's still out on how many. It's more about, just like you said, it's just more about repeating the habit. And it depends on how ingrained that neural pathway is that you already have. If it's one that you're trying to break anyway. It
Mhm.
might take longer, but it's just sticking with it and repeating it.
Yep.
Tony Robbins, I'm such a big fan. He says repetition is the mother of skill. So if you're trying to build a
Mhm.
skill, the way there is through repetition. Like it's simple things, but it's not easy for us to do, is it? Like
Right.
we've known
Right.
this since grade school. Like just
Yeah,
practice
right.
makes, well, not that we're going for perfect, but it's like, that idea, like practice makes perfect. Like you
Mhm.
just have to keep doing it and you'll get better. You'll get better
Yep.
at it.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, that's honestly, I made my goal, like I said, beginning of this year was to get between 7.5 and 8 hours of sleep. And it was hard because there's only 2 days during the week where I have to be up at 5 to go teach classes. The other 3 days, I don't have to. So I don't have that thing that drives me. And yeah, I okay, we have a storm coming in. So in case you hear thunder or
Oh,
see lightning,
really?
we have a storm coming in. So
Oh,
don't
geez.
mind if you hear anything. But yeah, it's The other 3 days, it's one of those things. Should I work out in the morning? I have a treadmill. I can absolutely work out in the morning, but I don't, only because I give my body rest days from teaching,
Yeah.
or I can do active recovery. But what I do the night before is that I'm always in bed between 9 and 9:30. I may not be ready for bed, but I'm in bed. And that was really the deciding factor that really got me those 7.5, 8 hours of sleep. And even on the weekend, I'll be in bed between 9 and 9:30, maybe 10 for the weekend part. We have a TV in our room, and I just watch TV. Now,
Yeah.
I've done it ever since high school where I fall asleep with the TV on. I am one of those people.
Mhm.
It's been ever since high school that it's been like that. But I made my environment suitable for me. So
Yeah.
I can go to sleep at that time. I get those hours of sleep. I don't have that afternoon crash anymore.
That's
And it's all
awesome.
those things that like I stacked, and what's the result? I don't have the afternoon crash. I'm not craving for that sugar in the afternoon that I used to.
Yeah.
So in turn, it's been better for my body because I had a
Yeah.
high triglyceride issue, and I started cutting out sugar because I changed my sleeping habits going to
Yeah.
bed. So it's very interesting how one simple change and the results that it can happen.
Yes, the ripple effect. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Perfect. I love this. Okay, we're
Me
going to go
too.
on to one more topic because all of this comes together. So let's dive a little bit into nutrition. Okay. This is always the fun thing, right? Because everybody's like, I just want to snap my finger and be like those people I see, those influencers where they did this
Yeah.
change and in 30 days they lost 15 pounds. Okay, whatever. But
It doesn't happen
um
overnight.
right.
And if it
Okay,
does, it's
so
not sustainable.
well no, that's the thing. It's not sustainable. And when I had to change around after I had Chase, he put 60 plus pounds on me.
Oh,
And it was one of those things that my friends, coworkers, I was in such great shape. They're like, you're going to be the person that barely puts on any weight. Or after you have your baby, you'll get down to your pre-baby weight in 3 months. The stress my body went through did not help. My body's not, it was not designed. I didn't carry the way that people thought I would. And my eating habits were not good. If I could change anything right now and go back to when I was pregnant, the eating habits. I didn't know
yeah.
any better.
Well, you know
I
what?
didn't
It's
have
like,
guidance.
well, and there's that myth that you're eating for two, and you're really
Oh my
not
gosh, right?
eating for, you're not eating for two because
Mm,
baby does not require that many extra calories. I mean, in
yeah.
the beginning, it's like the size of what is it? Like I can't even remember, but I remember like
Was
every
it a
week.
pea?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think maybe a pea. Yeah, so it does not actually require that many more calories. So, but I
Yeah.
think but that was always, ingrained in us. Like I remember
Mhm.
hearing that as a kid. Like you're eating for two. Well,
You're
so
not.
then, yeah, you're not though. Yeah.
You're not eating for two. Yeah. And then that goes to, again, eating for two. Well, now I'm overeating because now my body's
Right.
getting used to the eating for two. And then
Yeah.
just everything cascades down from that. So let's go over, why do you think overeating is an underfeeling problem? And then let's add emotions. How do you process emotions instead of turning to food as this numbing solution?
Yeah, so first let's just explain what exactly overeating is. I mean, to make it as simple as possible, it's just eating more than what your body requires for fuel. And it's often not about hunger, it's about trying not to feel something. So we tend to eat for two reasons, hunger and emotional desire. But many of us have lost touch with our natural hunger cues because of eating too frequently and then the highly processed foods that we eat. It disrupts our hormones and tricks our brain's reward systems.
Mm-hmm.
And from birth, we are conditioned to soothe discomfort with food. When we're babies, we feel discomfort, we cry, we're fed, and then we feel better. So over time, we learn to use food to dull emotional discomfort without even realizing it. Like we are not even consciously aware that we're doing it. And my teacher, Brooke Castillo, she compares it to a crystal glass. So when it's empty, it vibrates loudly when struck, right? But when
Okay.
it's full, the vibration is muted. And food does the same to our emotions. It dulls them. So we're so used to numbing that we often can't tell the difference between our true hunger signals
Hmm.
versus emotional hunger or withdrawal from things like sugar or fat or
Yeah.
flour, because that feels like hunger, but it's not true hunger.
Right,
Um,
right.
so the key is getting to know ourselves better and reconnecting with our body and just becoming more aware. So the next time you go to put something in your mouth, just take the time to pause and ask yourself, am I truly hungry? Or am I trying to avoid an emotion? And that's where emotional processing comes in. And I use my SNAP method to teach this. So SNAP is an acronym, and the S stands for stop. So stop, just take the time to pause and create space before reacting. And next is N, and the N stands for name the emotion. Simply identifying what you were feeling, like loneliness, boredom, frustration, it
Mm-hmm.
helps to break the cycle. Then the next is A, and that stands for allow. You are going to allow the feeling and let it be there without resisting because it already is. You might as well. And when you think about, you're allowing your child to watch TV, for example, who's the one that has the authority? It's you, the person who's doing the allowing. So when you allow your feeling, you're getting authority over it and you feel more of a sense of control. Then lastly is P, and that stands for process it. And the way you process it is just by doing a body scan. So you get in your body, from head to toe, you locate where is the emotion in my body? Where do I feel it? And you describe it in detail
Mm-hmm.
as if you're describing it to somebody who has never felt the emotion before. So I mean detail, like what, and this might seem a little out there for people, but I'm telling you, it works. So you describe what it looks like does it have a shape? Does it have a color? Is it
Hmm.
moving? Is it vibrating? Does it have a texture? And you're breathing through it the entire time. And eventually, the urge to eat is going to fade as the emotion moves through you. And then with practice, you get better at recognizing your emotions and not needing food or other distractions to manage them.
Wow. Yeah, right when you started describing that, even from the get-go, before you and I did this podcast, let's see, it's 12 p.m. right now, Eastern. I would say it was about 10 Eastern. I went to go grab chips. I don't need, it was Tostito scoops and hummus. I didn't need it. But
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm at home today from work and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I need to do this. I had my list set out that I wouldn't, it was an anxiety that was building because I'm like, I want to get it done by this time. So then
yeah,
I led to myself, like, oh, the cabinet's right over there. Let me just snack on some salt right now. I didn't need
yeah,
it. It was just because my
oh,
emotion was anxiety at the time. And then, like we
yeah.
said, I needed to clean my Keurig and I've never done it before. So I got overwhelmed about reading tons of
That
instructions. I
that is
didn't
a
need the chips. And then what was
mm,
it? A few minutes in, I was sitting by my computer and that satisfaction I had for a few seconds in the beginning completely just went away and I had regret.
right. Yep, that's
I
what you're
was
left.
not hungry.
Yeah,
It was just an
yeah,
emotion.
yeah. Yeah, so
Wow.
that's
Yeah,
all,
that
and
simple
it's
method is amazing.
it's simple and it's
Mhm.
not easy. It's not easy. But yeah, that's all it takes. It
Yeah.
really is just about pausing and it seemed It seems in the moment like it's a total waste of your time, but it doesn't have to take long. You don't have
Really a
to
few
say,
seconds.
yeah, really, and just breathe through it and it will
Mhm,
eventually pass. I'm not saying the urge to eat won't come back. It probably
mhm,
will, but then
mhm.
there's your opportunity to practice this again. And what did I say? With practice,
Yeah,
the better you get at recognizing it. And the more like you, the more likely you are to not turn to food or whatever, because it's not just food,
yeah.
is it? It's scrolling social media. It's
Mhm.
I don't know, drinking for some people or
Yeah.
watching Netflix or shopping, you know?
Online shopping, yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
You don't need
Yeah.
to. I don't need to buy this pair of shoes, but I have it
Right,
in
but
this
we do it,
color, but I don't need
yeah.
them.
But we do it to numb our emotions or to get that
Yeah,
dopamine hit.
yeah. Wow, that is, I knew when I asked that question, I'm like, I wonder where this is going to go. Because we just, we talked about habits and we went to nutrition, and nutrition can take its whole other
Mm.
perspective. Like, we're not digging into what food you need to eat. We're talking about prior, the
We're talking
emotion
about
to get to that food.
why are you, I just got, so I signed up to get texts from, I can't remember the guy's last name, but his first name is Corey. And I
Yeah.
got this text from him yesterday. I'm like, oh my God, this is so perfect. I had to write it down. And this just describes this, like what we just talked about to a T. So he wrote, trying to suppress a bad habit without meeting the need underneath is like pulling weeds without getting the roots. It always grows back.
Ooh,
It
that's a
always
very good
grows back.
visual.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
get to the root of the problem, meaning
Hmm.
why are you doing this? Like
Hmm.
it's all about getting to know yourself. Like, why am I eating? Am I really hungry? No, I'm not. Well, then why am I eating?
Wow,
What am I trying to avoid,
perfect.
right?
I love this because as you're describing stuff, like I'm a note taker, but I'm also a visual person. But it's one where when people describe stuff, I'm very good at visualizing it. So really, you've kept everything we've talked about really simple and straightforward. That as you're describing it, that's why I'm seeing myself because
Yeah.
it's not overcomplicating
No, it's not.
to an individual. It's great.
Yeah, I
Well,
love
awesome.
examples. That's how I learn. I need examples.
Oh, perfect. Well, I enjoyed our conversation so
Me
much.
too. Me
And I
too.
cannot wait for our listeners to listen to this. So, one last question. If you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be? And the same goes for your future self.
Honestly, I would say to both my past and future self, just simply, I love you. And I know
Oh,
that sounds cheesy and maybe like too simplistic, but for me, it's
mhm,
everything because I just spent so much time wishing I was different and looking outside of myself for validation and
mhm,
fulfillment and happiness. And what I've learned, what was so life-changing for me from coaching, was
mhm,
that I learned that love and happiness are emotions that we generate from within with our thoughts. And when I generate love for myself, I'm not dependent on anyone or anything else in order to feel whole. And that understanding has just brought me so much peace and empowerment. And it's definitely something that I am continuously working on.
Yep. Hmm.
But then I don't need to control people or situations to feel okay, which is great because you can't control anything outside of you. The only thing that we can control really is our thinking, our feelings, and our actions. And even that, it's difficult to control because it requires a lot of effort,
Right.
actually.
Right.
Um, but when I can accept others as they are, because I know they don't create my feelings, I do, that's
Hmm.
real freedom. So that's what I would tell my past self. I really needed to know
Hmm.
that in the past. And then I would just remind my future self that I love you and you don't need anybody else or anything else to feel loved.
Wow. Beautiful words. I love that. All right. So just to wrap this up, where can people find you?
Yes, well, I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Tanya Valentine Coaching.
Okay.
And then my podcast is the Mom Entum Podcast, and you just spell it's spelled momentum, Momentum. And I also just started with YouTube, but I'm kind of just like dipping my toes and I don't know what I'm doing there. But it's Tanya, I think it's just I think it's Tanya Valentine Coaching on there too. Yeah, it is. And
Okay,
then my website
absolutely.
is just, yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say my
YouTube's fun.
website.
It took me a while, but I do like I like what you can do with YouTube. So,
Yeah,
and this is
because
where you will find everybody. You will get obviously the audio version will be on different podcast platforms. My main one is Spotify right now, but I'm looking to expand it. And then the Zoom part will be on YouTube. So this whole
cool.
conversation, if people are more visual, obviously talking with my hands, writing notes, that's kind of just what I do. You can look, oh yeah, we got the lightning coming. So before I lose power out in the country, I think we're good. But yeah, thank you so much again for joining us. I can't wait to
Oh,
share this with everybody. Your points, everything, it's just so enlightening. And to be able to relate it to things I've been through and then moving forward with my life, I know people will take so much away from our conversation.
I hope so.
So
Well,
thank you
thank
again. And I will
you.
definitely be talking to you later because I can definitely
Oh,
feel like we can explore other topics.
absolutely.
All right.
All right, bye.
See ya. Bye.